alongside the neck. And when he tips his nose, I'm going to release it. I'll release it. Then I'm going to take the rein again and release it. So this is called lateral flex. And we want the horse to be good at lateral flex. It's a basic exercise. And so a basic exercise is something that we do at a walk, at a standing position, at a walk, a jog, a trot, and a lope. And so here we are. And now what we want in a lateral flex, we don't want the curve in the neck starting here, so it just bends over like this. We want the bend up here, in these vertebrae here, from here to here. That's the curve we want. So you see, I want this working more, and that's something when we were on the ground I could see he didn't work good.
Yeah.
In those first two vertebrae, atlas and axis. But if I take the horse's nose like this, you see how the bend comes from the shoulder? Like this. This is not the way we want to have a horse's. That's not how we ride a horse to do anything. This bend is incorrect. The bend we want to build into the horse, and I'm going to, just to try and, I'm going to use my outside rein a little bit, just to try and help this guy figure out where I do want it.
Nice.
Okay, so there's lateral and vertical flex. So here we are. I'm going to go on there. That's what I want. That's what I want. That's what I want. We call this developing the horse's mouth. What we're doing is we're teaching the horse to tip his nose down by lifting up on the rein. We're not pulling back. We're lifting up to get the horse to drop his nose. Okay, so here it is here. I'm lifting up to get the horse's nose to go down. And slightly to the side. Like that. Like that. Like that. Now this takes days and weeks and months to develop to get it really good. But this is it in a nutshell. We want the bend. You can see it starts here. Now the key to get that bend to happen there is that you pick up a little bit I pick up the rein just so I can feel that mouth. He actually turns his head versus me taking his head. That's different. If I take his head, the bend is here. And there's nothing that we can teach when he's doing that. When we do a flying lead change, when we do a pivot, when we do a leg yield, everything is in a straight alignment. And so when we're doing we'll do a side pass. When we're doing a side pass, the side pass is coming from my leg. And people will get confused and they'll do the side pass with their reins. They'll try and move their hands one way or the other. This isn't the case. In a side pass, the head is aligned straight ahead. So here I'm going to do a side pass to the left.
There you go.
Now the horse wants to go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
I'm working, so you see my right leg is pushing. If he backs up, I ease up on my reins because I don't want him backing up.
There you go.
I don't let him back up. I use this spur here. When he moves over, I release it. Okay. So the key is, here's the two things. When we're doing a side pass, our leg stays on constant, and we need a spur. If we're going to do any finesse riding, a spur is just a part of the game. You just can't do work without tools. So I'm going to take this right leg. I'm going to put it under his belly. I'm going to push.
Get over.
Put a light pressure. He's going to walk through it.
There you go.
I'm going to release it.
Okay.
So I'm going to, when he walks through it, I'm going to stop him from going ahead. Okay, so I'm going to try again. There's my right leg. If he goes ahead, I'm going to stop him. If he moves to the left,
You're going to reward.
I'm going to release. Okay, repeat. Now, the job of my right and left rein is to keep his head directly in front of it. When I do a side pass or a leg yield, I do not tip his nose in any direction like this. My hands do not do this. They stay like this. And I do
Wow.
the side pass.
There you go.
There.
There.
See? There's his reward. Again, so here, straight alignment. All I got to do is use my hands, keep the nose from turning right and left, or keep the horse from walking ahead, like that. If he goes backwards, I'm going to encourage him to go ahead and then reapply my leg and get him to move away from it. Now, we were doing that on the wall, and that's why I was saying these are important lessons that we're teaching
There you go.
on the wall when we were on that rail there, is we were teaching the horse to get away from pressure
Forward.
and move his hindquarters away. Go ahead. Get off of this leg. There.
Nice. Release.
So you see, again, the horse can make a lot of mistakes. He can do the wrong thing, as many things as he wants to try. Go ahead, give him a whirl. But when you do the right thing, the spur comes off. Again, we have a motivator, there's pressure, that's discomfort, and release. Okay, here we go again. My hands are ahead, I'm saying, don't need
Forward.
to go backwards. Now I get him to go ahead. My leg is still on. I'm going to stop. And there's the side pass.
I see that. Yeah.
See, there's the rest. Okay, and then I'm going to pick up the reins. So I can't just start any old rein. I've got to pick up my reins. So I just got it contact. This contact. I can feel there's the horse's mouth right there. If I do any more, then I'm going to be pulling. Okay, so I got contact. My right leg. Push.
There he goes.
Side pass.
Side pass.
Okay, so now, here is an exercise that I do that actually helps the horse to learn to side pass. And so what we're doing is we're walking in a circle here. And then I'm going to move my leg to the back and push back here.
Just behind the cinch there.
And then I'm going to release it. See, I got him to move his hindquarters over. Okay, so here we go. Now I got to get some motion going here. There's not much energy in here.
No.
But then when he does he wants to give me a low energy trot. But I want a high energy walk.
Yeah. It's like I either go fast or I go really slow.
Okay, now I'm going to go back to that end. I got the energy going a little bit, okay? I'm going to take my right leg and I'm going to push it back here. And I'm going to get him to
Get his butt.
move
There.
off that leg. And then I'm going to release it. Now I go to alternate bumping. Okay, the energy going. Okay, so here we're going to go. Right leg.
There you go. Nice.
Now, you see, when I do a leg yield, the horse's alignment is straight. It's not nose tip in like that. Okay, do it again.
Give.
Now, he needs to learn to tip his nose down instead of pushing on the bit. Okay, here I'm going to use the right leg again. Keep his head straight in front of him. Push on the spur.
Nice.
Okay, now the same thing is, okay, now I want the horse to do a pivot on the forehand. Don't go ahead. I want the hindquarters to move around the front end. Front end should stay in one spot.
Nice.
And the hindquarters moves like that.
Wow.
Okay, so that's pivot on the forehand. Okay, so then we're going to do one more. So again, to do a pivot, same thing. All these exercises is straight alignment. The job of my hands is to keep the horse from walking forward. Brakes. Keep the nose from looking that way or that way. I can pull right or left. There they are, straight. Okay, now I got that contact. My right leg goes back. And that's why I don't ride with the back cinch. Because then we push on the back cinch. And that's a big difference between pushing on leather. Now, the horse backs away, I'm going to put my rein forward, walk the horse forward exactly where I was. Now I put that leg back there.
Oh, nice.
And push the hindquarters
Wow.
like that. So that's pivot on the forehand. Okay, now we're going to go pivot on the hindquarters. I bring up my hands slightly back, slightly to the side. I'm going to use my right leg, not back here. This is for the hind legs, this is for the front legs.
Oh.
Okay, so I'm going to use here. Now, if the horse backs up and I'm asking for a pivot on the hindquarters, will not ask for it. Because what this horse likes to do is back up, going into the pivot, and it pivots on the wrong hind foot.
Oh.
If I'm pivoting to the left, the horse should be pivoting on the left hind foot. That's where the weight should be.
Oh.
Not backwards. See, backwards, can't do it. Now there's two things. When the horse backs up, what's going to happen is, if he's going to try and cross over when he's backing up, he's going to have to cross over behind, or he's going to step on the other foot. He has to be in a forward motion to step this foot out of the way and this one across in front. So it's always crossover. Crossover. Okay, so that's what the front feet are doing. Here we go. Get the horse going. Just a step forward. Step forward. No. See, things try to say,
He anticipate.
Can
Yeah.
you just let me do it? I'll
Yeah.
do it my way.
He's really
Can't do it
frustrating for that.
Like, oh no.
He thinks he's a know-it-all.
Okay. So, we want the horse
He's trying to turn with his hind.
to go forward. Yes. Now, this is what's taking place here. I want the front feet to move, and I want the left front to move first. But every time I ask for a foot, he's got weight on it. So when I'm asking for his front feet to move, he's got his weight on the front feet, and he's available back here, but I don't need them. So, like there. See, what he did, he started to move, and then he rocked all his weight onto his front feet, and then away his hindquarters went, because he had his weight. So you see how he went hop? He hopped onto that front feet.
Yep.
He kept on wanting to put his front feet down, but I'm saying, no, buddy, I want your front feet
To move
come
over.
up over here. But I don't want you to be backing up in the process. See,
He's confused.
he's moving his front. He's moving forward back. See, now, see, there's,
Yeah.
so you see the back feet were moving. I needed his weight to be standing on the back feet.
It's my biggest challenge with him, eh? Like, he practiced the maneuver, like, he got the hind end good there, and then now he's like, oh, that's all I want to do.
Yeah, like,
Yeah, like, he's really-
kind of taking control of the back.
He's really challenging.
Now, let's say I have, like I'm having, trouble getting him to understand, not to move that hip. I'm going to go to the basic exercise of pushing him back off of that hip in a pivot on the forehand. Mm-hmm. Because what is he doing wrong? He's moving the hindquarters when I don't want it to. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I'm going to do it again a couple of times. Okay, got the hindquarters working really good. Okay,
yeah.
So now we want the front end. Okay, so here's the front end. That's a couple of steps there. Keep going here. Yeah.
There you go. You got to cross. There you go.
Crossing over that I was talking about.
Yeah.
So that we got a little bit lower there. Okay, so let me stop. Yeah, so it's the crossing over. We want the horse's front feet to cross over. We're going to try that again.
There you go.
Cross over.
There you go. No, the front. So you don't really put that right rein on his neck at all?
No, because I'm trying to get him out of the backwards.
Oh, okay.
The backing thing. So all I want is forward, but I don't take my spur off.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Because then he solved his little problem. There we go.
There you go.
Yeah. So I can't take my right spur off because that's what you'd like me to do. See, forward. Once he goes forward, there we go.
There you go.
There we go.
Good boy.
There we go. And where does the head go?
Down.
Perfect.
Yep.
Goes right down there. Try it again. There we go. It's starting to
There he goes.
figure it out.
Starting to get it.
There's the backwards, so
Poco.
then my right leg spur still stays in him because it's saying go forward. Then when we get going forward, I bring in my rein to tell him
Move over.
to go to the left.
There you go. There.
That's the way I want it. Okay, we're going to stop there. Now he likes to hang on the reins and pull off the bit. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to address that a little bit right now. So I just have my hand on my leg, on the top of my leg, and I'm just going to hold that rein there until he stops pulling. There. I'll get it back. So that's another thing, he pulls on that bit way too much.
Oh, yeah.
He needs to soften him up quite a bit. Here I'm going to go alternate bumping to get his feet going. When he's making a circle like this, he's got too much of a bend and he likes to drop his shoulder in. The reason why is because he doesn't do his fundamental basics correctly, which is he doesn't know how to give to leg pressure and outside rein because, say, the pivots. Still pushing out. Okay, there you see the made up. I'm going to correct
Push
that.
it over.
There. He moves that hip over there, I'm going to say, no, no, no. We don't want that hip over there. Now, I'm going to pick up the reins. I'm going to use my outside rein, outside leg, to move the front end. But you can't go ahead. Now, I'm gonna flip over here, and I'm going to go address the problem with the horse pulling on the bit. He's pulling on me.
He's tough, eh? Yeah.
I got my hand just solid here. I'm not pulling against him. He can pull as hard as he wants on there. And I'm just holding my hands steady. This is the key.
And your legs are off, eh?
Yep, legs are off. Definitely. Yeah, you don't want to. This is just between him and the bit. Now, when he decides to give to the pressure, tip his nose in towards my left leg. Like
Almost.
there.
You let it go.
I let go. So that's how long he was going to pull on. So sometimes I got to go from one problem to the next to the next. And that's where, you know, instructions like I can give you that'll tell you where to go, because at some point in the exercise you might have to go to something completely different. Okay, so here I'm going to go back to this side here, see if I can get this side soft here. Left hand, top of my leg. Legs are loose, just sitting here, waiting.
Is that what could be making his neck sore too? Because he resists so much
Yes,
to evade the
that would be
pressure?
that.
Yeah.
Those muscles there.
Yeah. I can kind of see it a bit in his neck right now too, eh?
Yeah. That's exactly. The muscles that he's using,
Are against.
he's developing are the wrong muscles. They're getting bigger. He's getting ripped in the wrong spot. Basic exercise, lateral flex exercise. We want to teach the horse, tip your nose to the right and to the left, and don't pull on my hand. And stand still.
And then when he's doing it right, since you're holding it there, when he's actually doing it right, then that gives him the release that he's looking for?
When he stops his feet, he's not pulling on my hand here.
Yep.
But when he stops his feet and doesn't pull on my hand, I'll give it back to him.
Oh, okay. There. Wow. I'll take a bit.
So I wanted him to stop pulling on my hand. So there we go. Yeah, give the reins to him.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, so he's developing these muscles here from pulling against the bit.
And that could also be too because his teeth.
And that's why he's building up those muscles, and they're kind of maybe knotted a bit, and they're keeping him from being flexible in the neck.
Is a bit of his issue with the bit his teeth as well? Is that why teeth are so important, or is it more just his resistance?
Teeth, likely later on today a little bit, and I can check his teeth, but he may have teeth issues. He's how old?
He's between 6 and 8.
Has he ever had his teeth done?
He's a Mustang. I don't really. Yeah.
So he's 6 to 8, and you
Yeah.
know his teeth are going to be in pretty rough shape.
Yeah, because I find him even for the backup, like even he's just really resistant to the bit pressure.
Yeah. Yeah, and part of it with his backup, I'd say has more to do with training than teeth.
Oh.
But his teeth aren't going to be helping the problem. But now here, I'm going to teach him to get off the bit in a vertical flex. So instead of pulling on my hands, there, I'll release it. So, yeah, so for your horse, he needs a lot of basics, just the very basic training, which is all the foundation exercises. It's lateral flex. Okay, so lateral flex both ways, vertical flex, there.
And that's just holding till a release.
Yeah. Just picking up. Too bad I didn't bring a set of reins. I was going to bring a good Daryle and a set of reins, and a little heavier set show, but I didn't bring them this time. There, see there's a. So lateral and vertical flex are the first basic exercises. Now we're going to go back to the side pass.
Nice. Wow. Wow.
There. Release. Now we're going to go to the pivot on the forehand. My leg comes back. I'm going to really exaggerate it to help him out. Later on, I won't do as much, but right now, I'm going to help him out quite a bit. There. Okay, that's pivot on the forehand.
Forehand.
Pivot on the hindquarters.